All right, welcome back to Red Sands Adventures. We are out here today again in Sand Hollow. We're back. We've got the Turbo R, and we also have the new Kawasaki H2. This is here from the good people over at St. George UTV Rentals, Colton and Nick. They're going to let us go out and try it out, see what we think, compare it back to back with my Turbo R. Let's go check it out. Before we get doing that though, I need you to like and subscribe to this video. I need you to go find St. George UTV Rentals on YouTube, and you need to go subscribe and like their page as well. Let's go check it out. All right, Nick, this is my first time starting this up. You ready for this?
I'm ready, dude. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. First impressions is very smooth. It's much smoother running than my Turbo R is, which is something else. Also looks like the shift pattern is reversed.
It's backwards from your
Backwards,
Turbo.
yep. And there is no park. It's a parking brake here instead, which is nice. I don't know. Is this the same as the Can-Am? Do you know?
I don't think it is the same. I think Can-Am has park, doesn't it?
Gotcha. Alrighty, well, we'll see. So this is going to be interesting. This is actually my first time in a KRX, let alone the H2. I'm pretty excited. It feels pretty smooth. I've heard nothing but good things about just the regular KRX. We'll see how it goes. Oh, that's cool. You hear a little bit of the wastegate flutter, just a little.
Oh, there's a lot. I always like noises, man, because this thing is noisy.
We're good. I'm gonna get this seat back a little bit. All right, walk me through this real quick. I'm in two-wheel drive. It's struggling to keep tires on it, realistically.
So your four-wheel drive selector's right here. Okay. You're going to want to put that in the middle position for four-wheel drive.
Can I do it while it's driving?
Yep, you can do it while it's driving.
Okay.
And if you go all the way to the right, that's going to lock your front diff up.
Okay, so similar to the Pro R. Gosh, that's crazy. You can hear so much turbo flutter.
And then you also have 3 suspension settings you're going to find on the left side of your steering wheel.
Okay, is that this rotating dial or is this?
Nope, on the steering wheel itself.
Oh, okay, got you. Firm, normal, soft. We're going to go to soft through this chatter stuff. Cool. Yeah, I will say, so first impressions, just through this chatter, which is usually pretty rough coming up from Waddy's Corral, this thing feels pretty smooth. It's, I don't know, it's probably a little bit of a difference between this being a new machine versus my machine having 4,000 miles on it, but it feels tight. There's not as many like rattles and things. Not yet. We'll get there. And then the other thing I was going to say is even with the higher air pressure, because you mentioned you don't have the air pressure in these tires dropped, it is very smooth as it's still.
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited to drop the air pressure down just to see what it feels like.
Oh, we got someone coming up. Okay, we got 3 people behind him, I guess. We're actually going to pull over and let these guys come through because this is a good section for testing suspension. And I would like to go through it at a somewhat more respectable speed than what we're at.
For sure.
How's it going? This thing's already turning heads. Yeah, Kawasaki guy gave us the thumbs up. Nice. All right.
Yeah, this thing has been getting a lot of attention out here.
For sure. Okay, this is a little bit more of a bumpy section. I'm gonna go into normal. Woo! Just for the record, that was like a half throttle.
Yeah.
And that stepped up and moved really well. I'm sure you had it matted more than that, but that was pretty good. I will say the suspension is pretty stiff at the faster speeds from what I can tell. But I also put it back into normal mode. And again, the tires are still fully inflated. I'm gonna drop it to soft again. So if we're not really hammering anything huge. Yeah, I mean, it does pretty well soft. That was incredible though. The supercharger, I mean, I've been in Pro Rs, I've been in, you know, big turbo Polarises, big turbo Can-Ams, but the immediate,
Yeah, like that instant power is awesome.
that's incredible. Especially for like these dune sections.
Oh yeah.
Or even just the, I don't know, it's called Sand Hollow, but there's really more rock out here than anything. But these sections getting up to the rocks, that power to come like around a corner and just have it right there, that's pretty incredible.
Oh yeah.
So, how many miles is this? You got 100?
I think I got 100. Yeah.
Is that all you?
Yep. Pretty much. Golden's put probably, you know, 15 or so, but I've been out here ripping it up, you know.
Yeah. Have you had anybody rent this out yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, because that's one other thing to talk about. If you want to come rent something like this is one of 3 in southern Utah right now.
Right.
And only one that's rentable. The others are all private owners, right? Oh, sorry, I just gotta.
Oh yeah.
It's so much fun, man. So
It is a really fun machine.
oh yeah, it's crazy. Don't tell Andy, but like I'm questioning my decisions in life. Andy's like my buddy at Polaris, and I'm not gonna be switching anytime soon. But this is incredible. But if people wanted to come rent this, how would they get a hold of you? First of all,
So if you get on our website, St. George UTVRentals.com, you can do all the booking online. You can also hit us up on Instagram, St. George UTV Rentals on there. Send us a message and we'll get you taken care of.
nice. That's awesome. You guys will not miss this, or you will not regret renting this. I can tell you that right now. I will say, do you require any like training or anything? Do you have any sort of course? Do you pull people through the? Because this is a lot of machine, just to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. So we do have like a safety video that they watch, and then we go through a driver's training with them before they take the machine out, make sure that they're comfortable, understand the power behind the machine, all the functionalities. You know, and then of course, if they have any questions, we answer those for them.
Oh, pretty good. Cool, man. Well, I'm excited to keep testing this out, see how we think about it, and then when we get up to the top here, I hope you don't mind me asking some more questions. We can dive more into the comparison between this and like the Turbo R Pro S platform. I don't know how are you super read up on these, or are we gonna have to be doing some Googling in between?
Oh, we're gonna be doing some Googling and making some stuff up probably, but
Oh, heck yeah. This is an interesting spot right here coming up on this section we're going through. This is actually where I rolled that machine that Colton's in.
oh wow.
I didn't roll it. My buddy was in it driving, and we went end over end because that section gets really crusted and crusty with the wind. And we just came straight over the top and all the way over the top and back to our feet.
Yeah.
It was great. Ooh, it's kind of windy. I don't know if this is just the way I feel about it because I'm used to the way my machine rides, but it does feel like it's a little more dancey, I guess, in the rear end.
So that's something Colton and I had noticed too, is the rear. So like some bounce around a little. No, it's not just you. It does do that. And that was part of the we wanted to try it with the lower air pressure to see if that helps at all.
Yeah. This is pretty windy up here. I'm wondering if we can go, because I want to talk to you about it, but I don't want to basically have the wind blow our whole conversation out.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go see if we can drop
Maybe
down.
in here or something.
Yeah, just on the other side of the bathrooms there, probably. While we're doing that, though, I have put this in low range. It does feel like it's really well controlled in low range. That, like, that's me. That's you.
You all have 3 power settings you can choose from. So if you want to get rid of the down to a lower power mode.
I was gonna say that's also just my foot being sloppy, but this makes up for it. I could throw it in that lower power mode,
Yeah.
and it feels like it's much less choppy.
From what I've tested with this, the lowest setting is kind of unusable. It's really more for putting it on the trailer.
Okay, we're giving it to your kids to go around the...
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The middle setting's great for going on the rocks, and then the high setting for out here in the dunes.
Okay, cool. That is... Yeah, so let's see here. Just feeling it out from putting it in mid setting. That's where we're at now. Yeah, there's a lot less of that like chop, which full disclosure, that is just my foot. Like I can feel it, but it is compensating for me. That's pretty rad. Okay, let's jump down here and hopefully get out of the wind and we can chat about this a little more. Okay, so we're here with Nick, and this is actually Nick's car. So he's been kind enough to let me drive it. One thing we were talking about, and so this is just me coming out of the Turbo R. One thing that I found that has been corroborated by Nick and also Colton, it feels like the back end wants to swap pretty hard on this car when you get going through rough stuff really fast. Realistically, from a average user perspective, I don't think most people would be getting that gnarly with it. just to the point where it would be a problem, because it is up in those higher speeds through big whoops. It started to feel a little unsettling. And then the only other negative thing that I felt about it was it feels like it kind of runs out of breath. As Colton was saying, you know, it's kind of a typical turbocharger type, you know, behavior where you get into the mid-range and the punch is all down low. So you start to feel a little bit lacking in the top, whereas it's the opposite with the Turbo R, where it feels like it's lacking in the bottom and then the turbo comes on over the top. But overall, it was super smooth. I think the suspension on this, just being another iteration of the KRX, has been, I think it's pretty great. I like it. It was very smooth. I like having the punch down low. Colton, what do you think? Or sorry, not Colton. You guys mixed up. Nick, what do you think? Is this your first side-by-side, or did you own a Turbo R before or anything else?
I owned a X3 RC. Okay. It was a 2019 two-seater.
Nice.
So I've had the turbo powered before, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and definitely feel it in this. Once you hit about 55 miles an hour, it does kind of start to flatten out. Mm-hmm. I'm not typically going that fast. You know, I'm more...
Same.
You know,
we're in Sand Hollow. It's rock
yeah,
crawling,
so
baby.
you're going slower. So having that like low end power, it's awesome, man. I actually really like the way this thing drives. As far as the rear end bouncing around, definitely an issue I've experienced. I mean, anywhere between 50 to 65. You're feeling that. So
yeah, but realistically, overall as a package, I really like it. I haven't even looked in the back seat yet. This is one thing that for me or anyone with a family or people renting, it comes with the fifth seat already. So for example, for my car, for any other car, if you want to add more than 4 people, you have to buy an aftermarket bump seat. You have to put that in. And that's, I mean, it's safe and all, but it's not part of the original factory setup, right? So it's not what you would consider like for warranty, safety,
sure.
Insurance purposes. Yeah. It's thought of as less, I guess, if that makes sense. The other thing I really liked, I liked the controls up here on the steering wheel. I thought that was really good. And I do like the fact that there's an actual parking brake on this.
I love that.
It's great.
Yeah.
I added a parking brake to that machine.
Oh, you added one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's a good parking brake, but I like having the actual parking brake. And that's might be a stupid thing for like an overall car experience, but like trailering it, everything like that, there's less rock, there's less slop. I like that they did that. Overall, I really like it. I don't really know what else to say. I'd like to drive it a little bit more and check it out, but yeah, maybe we'll go do some more running around. Maybe I'll let Nick throw me around in the passenger seat, and then we'll maybe talk about anything else that comes up. Yeah, dude.
So a couple things I noticed right away, like when we got this, is for one, it has high clearance everything. So like your trailing arm is super high clearance, your radius rods in the back are all high clearance.
Yep, take a look at that angle there versus this guy right here.
Right.
He's just flat.
And this is like notorious on the Turbo R, like this point right here to catch on rocks.
Don't put your hand on there. You will probably cut your hand because it has cut on rocks, got torn up.
And the front A-arms as well, so your control arms are super high clearance. So the other night we actually took, I have the exact same Turbo R as Abe here. We took my Turbo R out and this car out on Double Sammy, right? Double Sammy is an awesome trail just to see like the difference between clearances. My Turbo R's on 35s and it still was scraping more than this car on 33s.
Right.
Just because it's so high clearance. And another cool thing,
yep.
Dude, check out this boat tubbing. Like, you've got this is something that is really common in the Jeep world where people will like boat tub to get more like clearance, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is massive.
Just if you have to come up next to a rock, it doesn't catch on as much stuff. It's a lot smoother.
It is. Yeah.
Just for comparison, the Razor does like a tiny little jut in, but it's nothing like what the KRX has.
Yeah. It's pretty gnarly, pretty crazy. So yeah, those are just a couple things that like I noticed right away that I'm like, oh, that definitely is a lot different than, you know, the Turbo R.
Yep.
Other things are just, you know, different machine, and I don't know. It's cool. I really like, because I am a nuts and bolts kind of guy.
Okay,
like I'm on the mechanic side of stuff.
Perfect.
So like maintenance wise, your oil filter's in a really convenient spot right there.
Yeah.
You actually have a sight glass to check your oil level.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not.
Is that for the transmission?
No, that's a little scary.
Right here now. That's for the engine,
that's for
or
the
you have
engine.
the transmission to the back here?
Nope, that's the engine. So your whole transaxle is back here.
And they're doing the same thing as the Turbo R, not the Pro R, where they have a transaxle with a forward shaft.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing as the Turbo R setup.
Yeah.
So the
Pro R is different.
There's no intermediate shaft like the Pro R has. This is, you know, basically the direct drive into the transaxle. Right here, it's your CV axles, and then just one prop shaft going up to the front, just like the Turbo R.
Perfect.
Kind of cool about, with that. I have not taken the clutch cover off. That's one thing I'm really curious about. In fact, we just filmed a video like right before you showed up. I just clutched our other Turbo R that we have.
Nice.
I'm huge into clutching. Like, it's very important. So I'm like itching on this one to see.
Well, is there anybody that even has a clutch kit out for this?
Nobody.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's pretty urgent.
Yeah. But I'm just curious what the setup is, right? Like the KRX has a very unique clutch setup where it's like a wet clutch and a CVT at the same time. I don't think this is like that, but I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Anything else you'd add? I mean, we already talked about the two things that I think we mentioned is swapping in the rear end and the kind of running out of breath, but
yeah, those are the only two like concerns that I have with it, or like, I guess, quote unquote issues.
Yeah.
And like I told you earlier, superchargers, the characteristics of superchargers is just that, right? You can't spin a supercharger any faster than what the engine itself is spinning. And that's just it. Whereas a turbocharger is fed by, you know, heat from the exhaust. So like you can spin a turbo so much faster. That's why you get that continuous pull on the top end.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And like I said, it more than makes up for it on the bottom. Like,
it does.
For sure.
It does. Yeah.
And the one thing you mentioned, like, well, you can't spin it any faster. I'm curious. Well, it doesn't look like it's belt driven. I was gonna say, I'm curious to see if someone could like pull it.
It is gear driven.
So
yeah, so
that might be a little bit of a quest.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe they'll get a improved impeller wheel.
My guess is people are gonna come out with different compressor housings and different compressor wheels.
Yep.
So because it would be a heck of a job to get in and do, you know, if it's belt driven, you can just do a different pulley.
Yeah.
And then you can
4 bolts and a new belt.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see on this. I mean, I know Evo's got their hands on one right now, so I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, you know?
For sure.
The Zaccone brothers are wizards. I love their stuff.
Alrighty, well, let's go drive around a little bit more and see what we can see. All right, we're gonna see how this thing does. There's a little bit of rock crawling as well. We're right here at the toilet bowl. Nick's gonna take us up and around. This is where those boat sides are coming in handy, giving lots of clearance on this passenger side for that rock. There it goes, just steps right up it. Very nice. Even with 40 PSI in the tires.
Right? So I went up that in mid power, have the shocks in soft. So on our next obstacle here, I think I'm gonna try it in low and just see how that does.
Low power?
Low power, and I'm probably go up to a medium or normal setting on the shocks just to see what the difference is.
Do the shocks, you know if do they adjust the height on this at all like the Turbo S's did?
I don't think it adjusts the height. I think it's just the resistance.
Nice. Okay, well, the next obstacle is just this wall, so.
Oh, this is it right here?
Yeah, that's it.
Sick.
Yeah, I'd say you're good. I'd say if it starts slipping, you know, don't be afraid to just roll back.
Okay.
But you should be good. Not even a problem. That supercharger torque just doing it.
Right?
Walk around.
Oh,
That's a cool picture.
This thing's sick, dude. It's so fun.
Yeah, it was tons of fun to drive. All right, we just got back. It's actually pretty dark because we did some buzzing around out there. Overall, super impressed with this car, to be honest with you. Even despite the two things we talked about before, I think it's a really solid platform. I really like the way it handled. I think you just work out a couple of those little things. And I think overall, it's a better, you know, interior package than I think we've seen from other people, or other manufacturers, just with the addition of the third rear seat and a couple of the other things going on there. But anyways, Nick will let you rent his car, his personal one. If you go to stgeorgeutvrentals.com, both Nick and Colton have been super kind, letting me ride it and check it out. So go check out their YouTube channel. They'll have a lot of UTV content, a lot of stuff, you know, probably going on around the rentals, but come down here and rent a car from them. Also want to say thanks to Cardo. They work with both of us. That's how we communicate out on the trail while we're talking through all this kind of stuff. So anyways, we'll catch you on the next one.